talk about Peter Tosh, you know, IRFM, I embark on a thing, you know, where even though it's not when him born or when him dead this month is, but we see the necessity and the thing for celebrate the life and the works of this great artist. And we know the brethren, one of my greatest memory of the I play was down at Negril one time and rain start fall and Mr. Dyer clap the drum in the rain. Where I tell the name again?
You answer, I don't remember. But
you remember the time though?
I can't clearly remember that or I play by hit the drum and water come off of the skin.
Me say me I watch the island, the rain and I say wait, the brethren now come off of the stage Rasta and every current lockdown and everybody come off of stage because the shot them no want to shot them and Santa death and the jump them in the rain and the people them are rain said
man.
No, me I tell you man, the sweetest drumming me ever seen in my life. Me not see no other drumming go on so as a single artist in a rain. Me I talk about filthy, me I talk about rain and drop, you know, brethren. You understand? Yeah. So how you start to play with Peter?
Well, you want to joke, you know. You see when Peter they just put him band together, really. I remember we used to hang out up a one theatre.
Yeah.
And right about them time, the Peter got get ready to put him band together. And one day me up there and Jabby the belly and thing and Jabby said, watch out, when you put your band together and money you have to draw for, you know. But at that time, I work with Jimmy Cliff at the time. You see what I say?
Yeah.
So when him really come, actually, Robbie come check one day and say, right now, Peter do a session in a federal studio, right? And we're going to go do that tune when you catch a showbie. That was like my introduction to getting, you know, playing the group. But at the time, I couldn't really play because, you know, I work with Jimmy Cliff them time there, so I play upon the tune and catch a showbie. So I really, at the first time, the inception I put in that band together, I should have been with the band, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I couldn't go because my commitment is Jimmy Cliff at the time, you know what I mean? But then now, in 19, we still keep the link still, but not year to one. In a year to one, you know, Peter signed up half a tree one day and said, watch out, if you saddle up, you know, I'll draw for you soon, you know what I mean? And because I think the blog Europe and then when they saw them come up from Europe and wanted to do the US tour. So at the time I just think so well, I just the US tour never done just that was it, you know. But it just ended up that we just go and jam for them other years there, you know what I mean?
So how long you play with him?
From year to one up until the time I'm passing, you know.
Oh, to 87?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. You know, I'm going to ask you a question I know, but we want to carry you forward into that terrible night up on the yard.
Yeah.
Where you yourself pick up a bullet up there.
Yes, still I walk with it right now.
You still have the bullet now, yo?
Yeah, it kind of, it close to, the reason why I never really move it still, because since we cover this place up there States, they go check on it and thing, you know what I mean, and them say, well, you know, there's nothing can be done, because they're too close to my spine, so them say, but
so if you move it, you can't walk again and thing?
Well, not necessarily that, but there's a risk of that happening if they would have messed with it, because it's too close, you know, through them things they beside some major tendons and all them things. They can't, you know, mess with the spine, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Them say, you know what I mean, better we just leave it, because it can't do no more damage again, so. Them say better we just leave it right there, because sometimes when them go in and I try and move them things sometime, you know, them things they create more damage.
More problem.
So, yeah.
So Santa, you walk with a bullet now for 20 odd years, Rasta?
Yeah, but it no bother me.
It no bother you?
It no bother me in the car. It no car you up now. You see through the pause of the fire, I tell you sometimes. Some things that's happening now, say, you know, people say luck and all them things. But I look on it like a divine intervention, man. Cause for me, still I do what I do. And I have no kind of discomfort from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I have to give thanks, you know.
I didn't have no side effects nowhere.
No, sir. Because the thing is this, it was copper. It was, as them say, it was like a copper shop and all them things there. Yeah. Then, them things that they would have figured somewhere to move because them things with you know, damage up the inside. But I guess I just regular leather or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Or some kind of whatever. You know what I mean? But a lot of time, them other kind of projectile or sometimes the damage to the system. So, I mean, I'm not in the side effects up to this day, so I give thanks, you know?
Yeah. All right. How much ones up did get shot? I mean, Jai did get shot. You get shot. Peter get shot. How much Jeff Fry did get shot? How much ones did get shot?
And a virgin named Doc.
Doc, yes.
One of our bridging from way back in the days, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I bridging know for years and years and years. Because the man they used to make juice and all them things, you know?
All right, so we know what if I want used to go up a Peter yard and all that, but well, lead I up to the house that day there.
Well, you want to see a joke, you know? You know, me the man where, me and Peter have a good link, you know? Because every day, there's a bridging thing and, you know what I mean? And at the time, recording, we had the recording and we work on things and even up to the time, you know, I mean, we are just up there every day from channel to this one. So it was like an everyday thing. When I come from my gigs, I have a kind of pass the year the more time. So you know, from time to time, I go check uncle and thing, and you know what I mean, we say hang out and reason and you know, talk about how we hit the road when the album come out. Because I know the album, when they make at that time, there was no nuclear war. So, you know, we just constantly, you know, in a communication and talk about, you know what I mean, yeah, we're going to go up on the road, over, you know, some different stage plot and all. Let's talk about things, you know what I mean, future, you know. And so it was a regular thing from a go up, but on this particular night still, we have a show for do in California, right? And we leave the next day, which was I happened the Friday night, so I leave the Saturday to come back to California to go do some work. And I think Sister Julie did upon the show and a couple other people. And Chris never played bass too. So you know what I mean? So because I met my own and things. So you know, it's like me go check Sister Julie for because she should not sing and I read her back up on stage. I just get a tape from her. Some music on it so we can run, you know, while listen and run down and thing there. And now I'm going to go parties. You know, that reason. There's a reason to talk about life and the world and everything. But on a particular night there, she did it on a long distance call. You understand me? So me and I couldn't get for reason. You know what I mean? Because she did it on a long distance call. So I said, all right, cool. Me see you tomorrow and thing, rare. You know what I mean? And that was it. I was up there so when the whole thing happened. So when I come down the road now, I come down on Hope Road. I'm going to say, no, I'm going to go back to my channel laying out and things. Because the color still early. So I said, I was going to my channel hang out on my corner and just rare and thing. And, but when I come down now, it's like, I said, hold on, I'm going to check Peter and make him say, now I'm going to run. You know what I mean? So we just turn off. So we turn off and go on and just did it. We don't even go to stay, but just go to for kind of like, say, yo, bridging. And I go back to California tomorrow and I say, rare. But you know, we go on and it's like from one thing lead to the next conversation, we just start reason. And, you know, we just sit down and that the dead, you know, that give me some juice. And call it front end vista. We just drink the juice, but we just fries them, we just start getting hot virgin, like hot super hot, and we just start drinking a whole heap of water. You know what I mean? And it's like, what I'm going to know is like, whenever I hear the sound, I come back, Peter must hear the sound, and show Mikey say, yo, we check out and see how that down there. And well, right now, I mean, right as that happened, you know what I mean, everything just changed right there, so. You know what I mean? But, you know, it wasn't the intention for me to go up in the night there. I just passed, I go down to the road, and I said, well, I'm playing the year, I'm going to check uncle. You know what I mean? That's what I call him uncle. I'm going to check uncle. And just turn off. And I said, why? It's like somebody there, I kind of have a thing now, I say, right, let's not go somewhere. And in the last minute, idea come to for make a turn, I go somewhere. I don't bother with it again, I just go, I go. You know what I mean? Because I say, why? If we just continue that channel, move that ear. And at the same time, so, they really check it. Probably to affect me more, the fact that I did it, you know what I mean? It's like, it hurt because, yo, let me tell you something. I did it and go by, I'm not really think what I'm bridging there. Because, you know.
That's a label you talk about.
Yeah?
Peter, you talk about the man who shot you.
No, I'm not talking about Peter, man. Because I have no reason, but I'm not say, you know, we consider the man that's family. You see what I say? And I'm not say, by me turn off and go around there. When I try to say, you say, from the day, let me say, you know what, I'm not going to do that again, you understand me? I say, because if I turn off, I make that turn there, you wouldn't get shot. You see what I say?
Yeah, man, I see that, yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, tell you, say, trust me, I mean, three people dead in that whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Well,
but I mean, as I said, that don't negate from the fact that to do that.
You know, it's a good topic for them to pick, you know, Peter to celebrate his work and his life, you know what I mean? So I've been here all night on the program. But one of the things that people always ask me, and sometimes I can only describe it based on what you tell me. You know, what actually happened that night, because you just happened to just leaving from Sister Judy, turn through the plaza and go up and check Uncle. And you upstairs sit down and reason and one to the other. And then you hear a knocking out of the door. And then what happened after that?
Well, I'm not saying me never hear the knocking, you know. Because you always up on the house, so it's sweet part.
Yeah.
If I have a little seat, if I have a chair and sit down, you know. So
right, and the kitchen upstairs.
Earshot. So I could hear any sound like going out of the gate, and in there a position where I could hear. You understand what I say? And I didn't hear the sound, and I hear like a sound out of the gate, and then send Mikey go down there, and Mikey, you know. And then it's like, it's kind of weird, kind of Mr. Mikey kind of walking strange, and kind of coming like, you know, like a zombie, like in the real of my life, and just walk up and just stand up, and next to me, there's some man that's rush come there, the man come in. You know what I mean? And man just start lay down. Because I may say, I'm the last man lay down, you know, because I'm someone that about lay down, I say, hold on, I think it's all a joke business. Because, you know, true, all a man where you know Jamaica more time, to my experience, we have some bridging where, you know, upon all the base, a man just come in, a man just pop off all them in thing and start, you know, and start being like, if I have some bridging, but yeah, I might shoot somebody, you know. So I think I say, you got things like that go on. So me sit on the whole time and I observe, and I want to say, hold on, everybody lay down on them things there. And the thing is this, I never really tell no one this, you know, but you see, start me to sit down, I know the big old sliding door and all them things.
Right.
Start me sit down, you know. I could have leave them, you know, because I'm saying them, I train and thing, you know, become like a gazelle, you know. Because I got left everybody, you know. But I say, you know what, I'm not going to store up them kind of thing, because if I know, you know, people are like stay more time, that, you know, I'm going to say, who actually run the man, I'm very. So, you know what I mean? So that's why I mean, if I even move, just because I sit down and see them, I observe, and then I'm the last man, and say, man, so yo, Jerry, for lay down to them. We just go, but I really lay down, you know, come and say, you know what, you have to go do something, you know, so by whatever I go on, I have to go ease out of this some kind of way. So when I really lay down, and then, you know, the man was coming, and man start asking money and all them things, and way, you know, and that was it, you know, a man just come for money too, as I greedy, you see me, I say? You know, I don't think that, you know.
When I was out in California, I see Mikey, you know, and Mikey show me him head, and part him dread and show me him head where the bullet went in him. So boy, it's like a miracle. Him just lie down and the bullet went in him skull and bounce and come out back. Must be a miracle. Him say him couldn't understand that, you know. Because him say he was going, after the knocking early, he was going down the stairs for to say who, you know, and then after they call him back and him go back down again, and when him come up, him have to use him high to give signal that something was wrong, but I guess never read the eye play and so on. He must give him
exactly, because as I say when I see him come in, you know, you see when I see him come in through the door, it's like something kind of looks strange, you see what I say? But we couldn't really, it's like, not that sometimes I hear people, I hear people say, them see certain things, and certain things happen, and everything's slow motion. It was like slow motion, you know. I really understand what people say. It was a really slow motion, but the whole thing was going. I like in your brain, I try to calculate, or I try to figure out, analyze them, not even calculate, but I try to analyze what really are going on. So maybe that's where the whole slow motion.
And, you know, obviously, man, I was say them now the money and thing, but we spark the fire and the shot them.
You know, the man them that honestly feels that Peter have money. Because remember, you know, let me tell you something. You see, what people understand, you remember when Peter have this problem with EMI, right? And then they go through this over lawsuit business. And I can tell you this. I don't know if people remember this. One time, we are driving on my vehicle, and Peter, I talked to Barry G. I talked to Barry G from New York, and they're on radio, and I whole of Jamaica hear this, you know. And I talk about the lawsuit they go through with EMI. This happened on JBC, you know, right? And the whole of Jamaica hear that. And through Peter, they have this problem with EMI, and I'm supposed to sue them. And then they say, boy, I will fire some liar, and I hire some different liar, and I must sue the man, and I must sue EMI if you must zillions of dollars. I know Peter is a car. And this was a public thing from JBC, where they know, so they can remember that. And at the time, the man will come with him bridging them. He must feel like, so, well, you know, Peter, they have offer money and all them things, because Peter, they go back and forth. You remember Copeland? When Peter go back and forth from New York. So probably a man must feel that Peter have money, but they never have no money. He still in the process I deal them thing there. So that's why the man them come because them come with a full intention to go and say, oh yeah, my Peter, my bag of money there. Yeah, that's what I say. So when I ask for the money now and the man I said, not the money, and the man asked chiefs and all them thing about like the man about chiefs to the house and Peter not the chiefs to the house. You know what I mean? So and when I realize that what I'm not really getting away, it's like I look at silence, not celebration. Like, and I could have bring back some memories, I know, but it's like, you know, there's a brief silence. I'm not celebrating as a saying goes, them say, all hell broke loose. You know, see, and as a youth say, remember, you know, grew up in the ghetto, we gunshot all the while, and you know, close proximity to them thing there, but that one didn't much closer because man look off your head and all them thing, and you know what I mean, and that was it, you know, that was the whole thing, you know.
So wait, all right, you get shot and lay down? You get shot and lay down?
No, actually, I don't know about it lay down, I'm kind of dip on my hand, you know.
Okay.
I have my elbow, me kind of prop myself up off of the ground, I kind of say, yo, I'm not going to lay down on the ground and flatten out myself, because you know, I have no control. So I just that whole militancy there within me at the time just tell me to do that. I'm not going to lay down flat, because you lay down flat, you don't have no control, you don't have no mobility. I'm going to normally do that thing, I just that would think, when I go down, instead of go down flat, like how some man go flat and spread eagle and spread out the man and all.
Yeah.
I go down on my elbow. So my whole body pop up on my elbow. So when the whole thing start leak out now, I'm not telling the virgin, it's like, you know, I'm going to kind of experience. I'm not blood bad, because them thing they're rough. But just start pull out of the whole thing. So if I pull back the whole time, shot start leak out. It's like, you know, it's man then, you know, some war movie and some just a kind of thing there. You know, I say, wait. I say, wait. If the man there was some expert shooter, wouldn't they attack this?
Everybody would have dead in there.
If the man there was some really, like I them say, expert. You understand? Because I tell you, I hear things that whiz over my face and my ears and all them kind of thing there. And I say, wait, it come back in the Bible real. You understand? I remember say, you talk about tiles for all them thing there. I enough ricochet and go on.
Yeah.
But I say, I just jar works and I ease out of the whole thing. I say, well, I'm going to just lay down and just sitting down. I just start move. And the fact that I move out of the ear, out of the whole of the thing, probably that saved me. But the problem now,
Johnny pick up a shot in our mouth.
Well, I think something like that, because is that me a year kind of thing? I don't really know. Don't know certain why my virgin and free eye get, them get shot and them element thing. But I hear what the mouth thing and all them thing. But not true. It was so confusing. Maybe I don't know exactly what going on, and I hear say Mikey to get, you know what I mean? But me was the most critically injured. I said, he said, me never did do me though. I'm drive myself to the hospital.
Yeah, that's
virgin, trust me. And even the doctor up at UC, I said, them never believe me. They I said, no, I couldn't drive myself. I said, yeah, I'm drive myself, go up here. But I don't know how I do it. I just drive. And I stick shift now, I'm automatic. You understand? On one side of me gone. Lungs gone down, them so like a golf ball. When them check them, say, boy, my lungs gone down to the side of a golf ball and all them things. Them all like, how me have the strength to even drive come. But, you know, I'm not so virgin. You know, me get shot because I should have stayed down. I just raise up my head a little bit, you know. I raise up my head and I feel like I eat the rock against my head. I lick the man and I lick up my head now, you know. I'm too kind of raise up my head slightly. Because I will feel the heat of the barrel of the right cup I am made and let me just make a hard move to the right. Just move me to the right like so vicious. I'm a block out of a collarbone. I heat it up. And I'm dip on tour one time and I play. I make a right cup feel. I'm going to boop and make the feel. I'm going to feel like my shoulder like something give. And I say, what the blood fire this? And when we do the x-ray and the doctor them look and say, wait, did you get an accident or something? I say, well, I look at him to go off and back to the damn thing. And said, did you know that it broke your collarbone? I said, no. And he showed me the x-ray. But broke my collarbone and my collarbone healed back. I never realized that.
Yeah, I did.
So it show you how my adrenaline that rush.
Yeah.
See, I see inside, I get shot, you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't the shot, broke that, you know. And me, just to move the head so fast, because I never do that. I wouldn't dare attack you.
Yeah.
So I get shot on my shoulder. You understand? I didn't miss out my heart and lungs and all them things there.
Yeah.
And I said, boy, them can't believe them things that really happen. Because them couldn't believe me get shot and still alive. Because man gets similar shot and no live to talk about it.
And not only that, no, a whole heap of man would have never believe so you still have the bullet now after 24 years.
Yeah, man, I tell you, you know what I mean?
That is something else, man.
But I'm not saying, I'd more answer to the item, man. I really feel happy still and joyful, you know, say. The man them really, you know, I do this, you know what I mean, for Peter, because in deserve, people need to know what kind of man this man was, and you know, I mean, I like how sometimes it come like as far as concerned with him, things are silent about Peter, because Peter did do some great work, and there's still some great things where, you know what I mean, because Virgin not tell right on the truth right now, you know, it was such a honor and a privilege. For work with the man there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I learned so much from him. And I must say, there's not a day go by when I think about him, honestly. I mean, I just feel like because I'm there on radio and I talk to him.
Yeah.
There's not a day go by that, you know, because, you know, I look at home studio, I have a picture of him, I have a picture of him, and I just write this. I'm out of there. But it's like, if someone lies in the room and I see something, I'm a madman, I say, yo, this is for you, Bridget, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember.
There's a vibe and feeling, yeah.
Yeah, man, I still have a feeling because anytime I play, honestly, when I play my instrument, Bridget, I play with that intention, with that feeling of how I used to have when I'm on stage with the man there. You know what I mean? And every time I work, anytime I play, it's like a constant memory. You know what I mean? Yeah. And maybe that's why I deal with that way. Because even sometimes someone will come and say, so, how you deal with that situation and things? I say, well, what's that? You know what? Everyone grieve different, you know. But can't just need a musician so we can grieve. If I play the music and it's like therapy for me. You know what I mean? It's like a constant memory.
I see you still at tour.
You know?
I see you still at tour and some of them I see up a wall with a poster like you are the star.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes some of them promoters the members do them.
Yeah, so how fully, man?
Fully nice, man. Everyone Iron man. We still work from time to time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's still a whole strong, man.
Yeah, man. I want to say China give me a number still.
Yeah, man. Give thanks.
Part of the Soul Syndicate vibes and thing.
Yeah, man. I'm glad to the item. You know what I mean? The links still, you know, because I say, you know, everything is important, you know.
Definitely.
It's important to keep this, to celebrate them kind of way, you know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, most time people don't understand the significance of anything, but it's important that even all the youth them come know of these things.
Yeah, of course.
And know the contribution with the man that do it, because the man that set the bar, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everyone have to still make sure that we still maintain that level, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And keep the vibe going, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Give thanks, Bridget. Give thanks, man.
Yes, I.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
really give thanks, you know?
Yes, I.
All right. So, in time, I have to come to California to see you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not saying, depends because I get ready to go up on the road and I would zig, so, you know what I mean? So,
just you look Mikey for me until you see me here, Santa.
Yeah, man, you do that, man.
Yeah, man.
You do that.
All right, blessed, man.
God blessings.
Yeah. This is the Cutting Edge on RFM. We're reflecting. That was a serious reflection. Rasta.
Yes, it was emotional.
Oh, you mean, man? That was a serious reflection, considering, say, 20 odd years ago. And them still have the bullet in him. Yes, man.
Hello?
How you do? This is Mutabaruka.
Yes, hello.
And now, this is Grace, right?
Yes, I'm Grace, yes.
All right. We have Copeland Fabs in the studio with me too.
Yes.
Okay. So, you know, this radio station is celebrating Peter Tosh life this month.
Yes.
Because in Jamaica, it is Black History Month and it is Reggae Month. So we decide on Sunday we are going down to his home and they're going to have an outside broadcast the whole day there, just celebrating Peter Tosh. And so we take it up onto it that we wanted to talk to people who was very close to Peter Tosh. And we know that you was one of the very close to Peter Tosh.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, this him son beside you there? Him son is beside
Sorry?
you? Is his son beside you? Nabi.
Nabi, yes, Nabi. Nabi is my son, yes.
Is he beside you there? Is he there with you?
No, he doesn't live with me.
Oh, don't live with you. Okay. For those of you who don't know who we're talking to, we are talking to Grace. And she, as a child for Peter Tosh. This is the last one, right?
It's my first child, yes.
No, Peter Tosh last.
Yes, he's the last child of Peter, yes.
Okay. Where are you from? I think a kind of dialect. Where are you from?
I'm from Africa, from the Republic of Congo.
Oh, you're from the Congo. Okay. So,
Yes,
you met
yes.
Peter Tosh? You met him in the Congo or you met him in Europe?
No, I was living in Brussels, and Peter came to perform in Brussels, and that's where we met.
Oh, so you have been living in Brussels all this time?
Yes, I've been living in Brussels since I'm quite young. I met Peter. I was 17 years. I was 18.
When you met Peter, you was 18?
Yes.
So who fall in love with who?
Both of us.
Grace.
Yes.
Grace, remember I was sitting there and watching you on the side of the stage, so just tell it like it is.
Sorry?
That was co-plan. Him said he must...
Remember I was sitting right on the stage there when Peter saw you,
Yes.
so just tell it like it is. He's asking you, how did you meet Peter?
Yes. Oh, how did I meet Peter?
Yeah?
I told you it was when he came to perform in Brussels. After the show, I went in the backstage, and Peter was just waiting for me. He knew I would come.
You know, we want to hear the intricate part of the thing. You know, we want to hear the details.
Sorry?
We want to hear the details. Co-plan is insisting that we get the details.
Oh.
We want the intricate part, the part that you never tell anybody.
Well, you know, I'm a discreet person. I don't like to expose. Yeah.
Well, I know already, you know, but he was just pulling your leg. So I told him you're not going to go that deep, you know. But Peter said,
Yes.
I said something out there look like me. I arrested for me. I said, don't worry, she's waiting.
You know, I mean, you should understand one thing what you said, so that is good. That is good. Did you understand what he said a while ago?
Sorry?
Did you hear what he said a while ago?
Not too much, not
Good.
too well.
I am glad that you didn't hear.
Okay, no problem.
Have you been to Jamaica, right?
Yes, I came to Jamaica. We were in Jamaica with my son in part of July and August.
Yeah. Oh, that was a family reunion?
We were there for three weeks.
Okay.
Yes.
You been back to the Congo since?
No, I've not been back to Congo because the country is not quite
Yes.
sure. There is a lot. There was civil war there, and a lot of insecurity for the moment.
Okay, yeah. So you left.
Yes.
Your parents took you out of the Congo when you was very, very, very young.
I was born in Congo, and then I left Congo, and I came to study here in Belgium. I came with my mother.
Okay.
My father stayed in Congo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so from your stop.
But I saw you long time ago. You came to Antwerp to perform in Antwerp.
Yes.
And I saw you, Mutabaruka. Yes.
Yeah, okay, you remember now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you have any plans to come back to Jamaica? I mean, I know a lot of people love
yes.
to meet you.
I would love to come back. I just fall in love with Jamaica.
Okay.
I just have one idea is to come back to Jamaica. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice speaking to you from so far. Give thanks. I know the hours is long. I know the hours is 6 hours ahead. I think it's 6 hours ahead, so it's like 6:10 now.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So where's your son?
My son is at his home. As I told you, he doesn't live with me. He's a big boy now.
So him show any signs of singing?
Sorry?
He shows any sign of singing, like he wants to be a artist too, like him father, or him just on him own doing him own thing?
Not really, not really. He's more interested in he's studying Chinese medicine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. That is good, man. Chinese medicine.
Yes, and acupuncture, Chinese medicine, and that's what he's doing now. Yes.
You know what? We're going to call him. It's a pity we can't get you on him on this line at the same time. We're going to call him and speak to him. Eh?
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to call him, make him talk.
Sorry?
We're going to speak to him. As soon as we hang up from you, we're going to speak to him.
Okay. You may call him. He's expecting your call.
Yes, so tomorrow you'll hear what he spoke about from him.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, Grace, take care now. Sorry I didn't get back to you today, but I was driving down to the radio station. So I'll speak to you tomorrow again.
Okay.
All right, and stay sweet.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Be on the show. Good night.
Good night, man. How you doing, man?
Fine, just coming out of bed.
Sorry for wake you up. No, after 6 now, man, you're supposed to run up and down, man. You're supposed to have a one-wheel bicycle and ride around Belgium now. All right. You know, we just talked to your mother a while ago, you know.
Okay.
And she tell me, say, nice, beautiful. And she tell me, say, well, you're not really a music man, you're more into Chinese medicine.
Exactly, yes. I'm currently studying Chinese medicine.
All right. So tell me, how you reached that? I mean, why inspire you for that? Being in Europe there and reading books and everything there, or the herbs thing come from your father? Because
yeah, long story. 5 or 6 years ago, I was looking for a martial art. I've always wanted to do martial arts, but for some reason, I've played basketball most of my life. And I found a Chinese martial art called Wing Chun Kung Fu. I fell in love with the art and started to read about Chinese culture and Chinese philosophy. And then it was a long process, but it just was natural for me to go from the martial art to the art of healing. Mm-hmm. So that's how I started to have interest in Chinese medicine, namely acupuncture and Chinese massage and herbs.
You know, so part of that is a genetic thing from your father. You know that?
Yeah, I got to understand that later.
Yeah, man, he used to love the karate move them, and he was directly into the herbs.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, so you might not even aware, right, but that rub off by you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we're saying, that Jamaica rub off by you. So, all right. Last year was the first you come to Jamaica?
I was in Jamaica this summer.
Last summer?
Sorry, Muta.
Last year you was here, last summer.
Yeah, last summer, yeah.
So you find Jamaica? I mean, and you book up all your brother them and all them really, or you relate to that?
Yeah, I loved it. I felt at home right away. Mm. You know that my mother is from Africa, right?
Yeah, she tell me, the Congo.
Congo, yeah, and Congo has a lot of similarities with Jamaica. Mm-hmm. Even the people there, a lot of similarities really. They love their music, very proud people. Mm. So I felt really at home. Yeah, I love Jamaica really.
The first time yesterday. Yeah, I was saying that the first time you meet one of your brother them, how did it feel? I remember a news it come out in Europe there where when you come on the stage, a big concert. Mm. I don't know, you came on stage and nobody knew that Peter Tosh had a son in Belgium.
Yes.
Explain that to me, how that go. Tell me how that go.
that was an amazing moment. I was meeting up with my older brother Andrew in Belgium. He was on tour with Copeland. And we had arranged to meet at the venue in Belgium. So that was the first time I was seeing
my brother Andrew. I had previously seen my three brothers and sisters in the U.S. before seeing any Jamaican sibling. So that was a great moment. I met with Andrew Copeland. We talked about the past, and then we got that interview with the Jamaican TV. So apparently it was big in Jamaica. It
was a big thing. It was a big thing that this was a son that nobody ever heard about. You know, like, wow,
yeah.
In Belgium. That was something else, yeah.
Belgium, yeah.
All right, so tell me something now. Like, you really never know your father to no levels and thing, right? But you hear people talk about him. What impression you get from
yes, well, I do have memories of him. I was 8 when he joined the other world. I was 8 years old.
Okay.
And I do have memories of him coming to Brussels and being with us, or going to concerts and being backstage with with the people and seeing him on stage from the side of the stage. So I do have some memories. But my impression of him, to answer your question, a very, very outspoken man who fought for the truth and for the upliftment of the people, to sum it up.
Yeah, that's really where most people, that's the impression where most people have of him still, you know. So, all right, you see, this acupuncture thing I have me away, you know, when me find, say, I deal with acupuncture and Chinese medicine and thing there. You go into the kind of Buddhist spirituality you deal with, which kind of spirituality them you work with?
Yeah, also, yeah, definitely.
You work with the Buddhist spirituality?
It's because Chinese medicine is, you cannot separate Chinese medicine from their belief system, Taoism, Buddhism, Confucianism. It's, everything is part of, it's, Chinese medicine is like the result of their way of thinking.
Yeah.
So you cannot separate their religion, their faith, their belief
from the medicine.
From the medicine. So it's very, very deep medicine.
All right. So you do it professionally, like for instance, the acupuncture. You do it professionally. Are you still learning?
I'm still learning.
I'm still learning.
Yeah. Right now, I finished the Chinese massage part, so I'm still trying to finish acupuncture. So I should be okay for 2012.
Okay. Well, you know, say right here now in Jamaica, these kind of disciplines is getting more and more into the mainstream, because once you all heard about these kind of things, more people now is in health conscious and everything. So maybe it would be a nice thing, maybe one at a time, if you could come down here and scout out and see the possibilities of you setting up here,
Yes. I would love to. I would really love to.
Maybe Copeland can finance it.
Sorry?
Maybe Copeland can finance it.
Yes, I would have to talk to him. I haven't talked to him in a while, really.
All right, hold on it.
Okay.
Nabi.
Yes.
How you doing, man?
Fine.
Yeah. I spoke to Mommy yesterday and today, and when you came here last year, I was away in Europe at the time, So he knows that it's me, man. He knows me. Don't you know it's me?
Copeland.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Copeland.
The question.
Long time.
Well, how you doing? I heard that you're a father now too.
Really?
Yeah. Mommy, keep me away. One of the things I wanted to ask you, when you came here last year, and it was the first time you're meeting Miss Cook, your grandmother, how was that rendezvous?
amazing. It was the first time she was seeing my son too.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very important for me that she see my son, that she see our grandson.
Right.
It was a very, very some moment. That's the type of moment that you have once in your lifetime, and it's hard for me to put words on this. It was really deep, really deep.
Yeah, I can just imagine, because I know when we met years ago, you know, in Europe, that is something you always saying to me, listen, Grandma is getting old. I'd really love to see her before that day come, you know. And I was so happy that you all got a chance to come and spend time with her, because every time I go into that region and I'm passing, I always stop by, you know, and spend a couple of hours with her, sit down, relax, you know, walk around to the back and, you know, sit on the veranda and just reason and things like that. Because for a woman to be, 94? You know, I mean, man, that's a great, great woman, man. And this Sunday coming, you know, we're going to be down there, right, at the house for this celebration of your father's work, you know, and the IRFM has taken up on their shoulder, which I have to really big them up and give them credit for this, because it's very rare you find a radio station take up a mantle like this, you know, and that's why I'm actually here to help push.
I understand that very well, and I really appreciate the fact, I should say, love the fact that people are taking time to give proper respect to our father, really.
Yeah, man, it's well deserving, you know, well deserving.
Yeah,
Muta was very close with him, you know, so
that's sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, brethren, well, I hope one of them day we meet you still. You know, I don't think I ever meet you yet.
No, we haven't met yet. And it's funny because a few years ago, just after I met my brothers and sisters for the first time, the one who lives in the USA, I started, I don't know how I found it, but I found your website and all the, you know, the cutting edge.
Yeah.
I will listen to your interviews and your reasonings, and I found it really interesting and uplifting.
And I give thanks, man.
Yeah, well, it's funny that today we are talking, and I didn't know much about you back then, but I learned a lot by listening to all the reasonings on the Cutting Edge program. So
this is our 19 year now on the radio. This March, next week, going to be the 19 years since we're here, you know, so, you know, it's a long time.
Well, thank you. I think you're doing a great job. Thanks.
You know, Nabi, I was telling Muta that I remember when you were 3 years old and you came on tour with us. You couldn't speak no English, French. And Peter couldn't speak French. And that was a joke. I used to laugh with him talking to you. Oi, come sit down here, so I just look at him and his voice. If you want to go back, and Peter tried to me and said, away myself, you better go learn French. And to hear you speaking English so perfect and good, I can say it's a feat. That means you have covered 2 areas. Parlez-vous français and habla inglés.
Yeah, and Spanish too.
Oh, you speak Spanish too?
Yeah, probably not as well as English, but enough to be understood and to understand. But it's funny also with English. The story is funny because I fell in love with English at around 10. For some reasons I totally ignore, and I asked my mom to buy me a French-English dictionary, and I would always ask her for words in English. And then I basically taught myself English from there. Never had any problems in English at school, always was the best in English. I grew up listening to American hip-hop too, it helped me a lot. And I don't know, English was something that I had to learn.
Yeah, just like why I learned French so much years now and I learn it. The only time I know French is when I am in France. Because I have to know it that time.
Yeah, it's a beautiful language.
Yes, it is.
Beautiful language, yeah.
It was the first language outside of his language he learned Haile Selassie the First, French.
Really? I didn't know that.
The first foreign language him learned was French. And it was taught to him by a man from Guadeloupe.
Okay.
Strangely, from Guadeloupe. Anyway, we give thanks for the link. We give thanks to the moment. And we give thanks to meet the eye through the earwaves. And as we say, we hope one day to meet here somewhere. I'll come into Europe this year, though. Definitely.
Okay.
There's a big festival in Belgium. I don't remember the name of it. I think it's...
yeah, I know the one.
Trust me. If you be, I'll be there. I will be there.
Okay.
I will be there on that festival. So you can look out.
If I see your name, I'll definitely show up.
Yeah, and I will give you 5 free tickets.
Okay, thanks.
All right, give thanks.
Give thanks.
Yeah,
Bless.
All right. That guide me from my friends. You understand? The thing is that you know your enemy, you know. But sometimes your enemy or your friend is the greatest enemy. So, from 10:15, we have been featuring Peter Tosh. We've been speaking to ones and ones who make a difference in Peter Tosh's life. And this Sunday, we're going to talk to more people who make a difference in Peter Tosh's life, right where he come from. And we say it's really an energy that is a good energy. It's a good energy because, as we say, check it now, the Whalers. Peter Tosh are the only one when not get nothing, no Hannah, you know. Everybody get the whole D and the OM and the all sort of this and that. And not get Peter Tosh nothing. Well, when I complain, but we just show you how the disrespect is that True is a man who them claim to be. And at the same people them who know at the side, if people forget all the them things, you know, at the same people them who did that dance to Peter Tosh music and I say, yes, Peter Tosh, yes, yes, yes. You understand? It's a serious thing. But the Whalers, one of the greatest group in the world. Yes, coming from Jamaica. Bob Marley get projected out there. Peter Tosh go out there. Bonnie Whalers, one of the time never want to go out there until they men up and go out there. So the 3 man them individually make it on them own. We show the strength of the group. Because they say a group, when the lead singer leave, the group sometimes just fall into obscurity. We say the lead singer leave the group. And each individual went out there, including the backup singers. Including the backup singers, went out there individually and made an impact on the music industry. So that was a great group. That is great, man. It's great. I don't remember. Copla, you remember in a group in Jamaica where I have 3 artists, 3 great artists, and when the lead singer leave the group, the 3 of them make it on them own as individuals. You call in the group? No. Outside of the Whalers?
No, outside of the Whalers.
Yeah.
I can't even call it at all. You know?
Plus the 3 backup singer them too. Yeah. That is a feat in itself. It's a feat in itself. So, yeah, man, we give thanks for the energy, we give thanks for the time, as we say. Our roads lead to Belmont, Westmoreland. Me and Andrea will be hosting the program from 6 o'clock till 10.
Yeah, greetings, Zion.
Yeah, bless you, man.
Greetings, Zion.
Yeah, you have to turn down that door now.
Yeah, it's a Peter Tosh watching live. You turn it down now?
Yeah, turn it down, yeah.
Did that already.
Yeah.
Perfect, yo, man. Good to hear the high voice again.
A long time I don't hear you, man.
It's quite a while. Me there in the plantation land in my barn, you know, little land in my barn. Me come to Jamaica, but me was really doing at Jamaica. Me come to Peter Tosh funeral, well, now. Me end up staying there for 23 years, you know.
You come to Peter Tosh funeral, I end up staying there for 23
years? I come to Peter Tosh funeral in 1987 and stay in Jamaica for 23 years. Me just come with my son to stay there for about 2-3 weeks. All the people that move out of Jamaica. It's a plantation land too, you know, but Jamaica is an island-full place. Jamaica got in the best people, some of the best people in the world.
Where they know? Where they know?
Me there in the plantation land near Sinkis where me born.
Kids, all right.
Yeah, near to Anguilla, near to the people in Anguilla.
Yeah, man, they know St. Kids, man. They know St. Kids.
Near to Nevis, near to Anguilla, near to St. Martin and them places there. You remember what me want before me run out of credit? Because me just come off an England call. Me want to thank Sister Angie, one in Africa, for observing the Peter Tosh there the other day. Peter Tosh is a wonderful brother. And something we want to share. You see, during the Thanksgiving service at the for transition at the arena, something we observe we want to share. During the time the program go on, a man in all white, a black virgin just in all white come on the stage, and with a big mystic looking word in the hand, and he put the word on top of the coffin, and he said, Peter Tosh, rise. And then he turned to the people and he said, pray for your sins. And he put the stick on the coffin again, and he turned to the people and he said, Peter Tosh, rise. And he turned to the people and he said, pray for your sins. And he put the stick again on the coffin, and you see the 30 and the man put the stick on the coffin now. Man could have smear. Me and some brethren was in front as foreign dignitaries.
No, tell me, say Peter Tosh rise, you know.
Huh?
You gonna tell me, say Peter Tosh rise?
No, me something I want to tell you, man. The coffin, we know so we hear the coffin creak. Like when it was creak. No, me, serious thing, I'm a virgin. Very serious thing.
No, we never say that serious. So what you say now? Peter Tosh moving at the coffin when the brother lick it and say rise.
Yes, and then he done there now. Just after that now, we see two policemen come on the stage and take for the border. And the MC, the master of ceremony, apologize to the people and say, they don't know how this man get on the stage. He was not part of the program. You hear what I'm saying, Virgin? Yeah, man, we wanted to share that. Very mystic thing. Peter Tosh, you know, it is said, you know, great people who live the way they live. They can't dead, you know, because we wasn't come here to dead, you know. We come here to be better, you know. And, you know, sometimes certain people go to certain transition and we don't understand it. But we know that Peter Tosh live.
So you're not come back to Jamaica?
Eh?
You're not come back to Jamaica?
Oh, you mean me not come to Jamaica? What kind of question that I have?
Me don't know. Because a long time I don't see Italians.
And then you come in, man. Guys, you see apart from the rightful home Ethiopia, let me know so me have to go live. And just go down and move again. Jamaica is the place.
All right, sir. All right, give thanks, Virgin.
Perfect love, Iron. And I want to thank the guy for making me heart blacker than how me come to Jamaica with it.
Because it.
Yes, Iron.
Yeah, all right.
And keep cutting edge, going stronger. Yeah.
Blessed man.
Perfect love, Rastafari.
I did. Yeah, man, a long time I hear from a Virgin. Last Sunday in this month, and use it to celebrate the life and achievements of Peter Tosh. It's not his birthday, it's not the year when him, it's not the month when him dead. So it's really a unique situation where we're celebrating an artist, not because him dead, not because him did born a certain day, not because him got jail. It's all about the works of Peter Tosh, and tonight we want to keep the flow flowing and talk to some of the people them who was involved with Peter Tosh himself. But we mentioned Jeff Dixon a while ago, and Jeff Dixon passed away, and Jeff Dixon was one of the brethren them who was at Peter Tosh house when he was shot, and he also was shot, and he also died from those gunshots. Jeff Dixon was, I don't know, the first man, the first man I hear mention about dancing. Well, not him started still, but him was the host feed pan TADP, Teenage Dance Party pan JBCA. It's the first, I think it was Bradshaw started a program there, you know. That program was the first dance program, party kind of program where it's live, you say, actual people have fun, party style, pan the ear. On television, Teenage Dance Party, and Jeff Dixon was also a radio announcer like myself, yeah, who changed up the vibes of radio. And I want to tell you, say, he was on prime time. Yes, he used to be on prime time, and he never did play certain kind of music. And him program was a big success and a big hit at the prime time. When we say prime time, I talk about between the 2 to 6 vibration there. I hope people never know say a program like that could have worked, because Jeff Dixon is a man who talk about solar energy and cosmic vibrations, and he play roots music. Jeff Dixon mentioned to me one time, said, why them would have love start a radio station. We play pure reggae. That was in the 80s we are talking about. This I don't know, just the other day we are talking, beside the 80s. We used to have a health food store on Alpha Tree Road. They used to come buy the peppermint soap. Jeff Dixon said, you know, we'll start a, we're going to start a radio station and play pure reggae. Peter Tosh involved tonight. Well, the man them come and shoot. It's a whole heap of ones them shot up there. Because we're going to talk to our next brethren tonight who get shot up there. Who was close to Peter Tosh. And him, from that incident there, him left Jamaica. You know, say, that brethren there, you know, say, me have co-plan sitting on beside me still. Co-plan, you know, say, the first time I go to America, go tour, a Santa Davis played drums for me. Yeah, man, the first time, UCLA, the 20th of March, it was Santa who was playing drums. Santa is one of them musicians where come from the kind of old school musicians where all when rain a fall, which me witness already down a Negril, Peter Tosh perform down a Negril and rain a tear down the place, and the only instrument where could I play this was the drum. And then plug out everything, because they never want electricity and the thing. And Santa sit down in the rain and lick the drum. Me I tell you, man, that's a serious thing. Part of what you call the Soul Syndicate band with Fully, and then man they used to play behind Peter Tosh. And then, yes, you have quite a few ones who used to play Peter Tosh, but Fully and Santa was like the drum and bass. And you have Sly and Robbie was also the drum and bass for the next level. So we will connect these ones together tonight. And as we are saying, Jeff Dixon, gone but never forgotten. For those of you too young to know this show, this is Master Griffiths and Jeff Dixon. As we said, Jeff Dixon used to work on the next radio station, and he also used to be on television, and he was a good friend of Peter Tosh, and he died also when Peter Tosh was shot. He was in the house, wrong place, wrong time. But Jeff Dixon changed his name over a period of while, and the name is a serious thing. If your man change his name to this name, we're going to call it. The name is Free-Eye, Jahai, Rasai, Amai, Kabaka, Kafarai. A big name that, you know. A big name that, for change your name. You know, say, it's a serious thing, you know. Them name, they're not easy, you know. But everybody call him Free-Eye. Because they couldn't bother God down the line, and so Free-Eye, I mean, legally change your name, you know. Free-Eye, Jahai, Rasai, Amai, Kabaka, Kafarai. That was the name of Jeff Dixon. But we do it as Free-Eye. So, it's Peter Tosh, because you know, say Sunday, we are going down Westmoreland, Belmont, and enough things are going to happen because of the first IRF are going to come that way, IRF are going to come that way there, live. And such a early in the morning with the nice breeze a blow from the Atlantic there. Where I tell you, a sweet, sweet ambience. We are heal up IRFM for really continue the vibration, for penetrate the heart and the root of the people. This is the culture that IRFM. Yes. All right. I'm kind of getting back my composure here to do this program. Copeland is here with me. You know, Copeland, as Ran Moshe just say a while ago, this is a reggae manager, man. Reggae manager, what's about 50 years now? The man I did it. I know 50 years I do it.
Yeah, next year will be 50th anniversary. That's why I was telling you.
Then how much will you be, man? If a 50th anniversary, you can't 70.
Nah, man. I started out young.
No, but wait.
December 1962.
That's why when you come in. When you're born. Yeah. Oh, you're one of them not talk about your age and everything.
I mean, age is a hana.
All right. Double answer when you're born, you stop. You sound like do it Nelson today. You sound like do it Nelson when they are asking the question.
I started out December 15, 1962.
You're born 1962.
No, I started out in
no, me know when you don't talk about when you start out, Rasta. You tell me say I'm 50 years I do this thing.
No, 49, next year is 50.
Yeah, so me I say no, if you had to do this thing after 50, you could have most about 70, but you don't look like 70.
You start out young, you know, like Dennis Brown, you know.
Yeah, so alright. So me not ask you again what your age is because you don't want to tell me. Anyway, as a man where I go around for years with artists. you know, find them sometimes arrogant and just downright arrogant, just terribly arrogant.
Well, I want to tell you something, you know. You get to, after a while, know each person and each artist. You know, their temperament. And even look, when you came in with the first time, 1980 to Cuba, I didn't know much about you.
But me never arrogant.
No, but me said to planner, China, tell the brethren to put on them shoes because we're going to land in Havana. And when me look at the line, we still see the brethren have on the shoes. And I said, hold on, something wrong with this brother here. I said, China, tell the brethren to put on him shoes. So I forget to tell you. You know real shoes. I remember, we stayed there for 10 days. I never see you come at the dining room.
No, we're not eating at the dining room.
I was shocked.
All right. Jai. Nobody bring up bad woman business in, so who have fire kiss at? And Nicholas, you have fire kiss at? I never know see Nicholas have a thing. Anyway, this is the culture at RFM. Yes. Robbie.
Yes, Jamuta.
All right. I can hear you loud and clear, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, man?
Well, they are going on, you know.
I never know see a Jamaica. A Jamaica there?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
the longest while.
You serious?
Yeah, man.
I was supposed to do this thing. I never know say they are Jamaica Rasta.
Yeah, well, there from way before Christmas last year.
Okay, well. I'll Copeland frightened too. Never know say they are neither.
I know me there. Me don't walk up and down. You know. Me just
studio.
Yeah.
All right. You know. You know say RFM. I dig into Peter Tosh life and thing, and you know we talk about Peter Tosh. We have to talk about the man them, the musician them, who did dip on the road to make him sound good.
Yes, sir.
And you and Sly was two ones who make him sound good.
Yeah, words on and power the travel.
Yeah. So tell me something now. How did two of them get that job there?
Well, we do a Peter from a longer time still, and Lee Jaffe, our white man, him come from me one day and say, "Yo, why come beat this Peter Tosh thing out?" By them time we do Peter Bonham, Black Heart Man and a whole heap of Singer Fever and them thing here. So the first album I would play for Peter was a Legalize It album. That time it wasn't Flyers. I think I called it and played that one there, them songs upon the album there.
Yeah.
During the process now, Peter forgot on tour. You know, decided to put a band together. And by them time, me and Slayer to play some music already, and them sound wicked, and everybody love to play Perplex with me and him. So me asked him if I love to play Peter. And him say, yeah. So me just drive me, you know, and me and him, and was a keyboard player named Tarzan, and Alan Listen, and next guitarist from Chicago. You know, so I said start out first.
Yeah.
You know? Donald Kingsley was the next guitarist. And we used to use wire also, wire where you end up playing with Bob.
Yeah.
And then the first to close up on was a CBS tour where we go in America for about 3 weeks. So 2 or 3 weeks.
How did you do one with Jimmy Cliff and him?
No, by that time I think we did leave already. We leave.
Oh, they did leave?
Yeah, Black Oro, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they got deal with Black Oro?
Yeah, we leave and recommend the Muse fully and Santa.
Soul Syndicate man them from a longer time.
Yeah, so we drop a recommendation there too. Yeah.
So it's what? It's true the contract with Black Euro why only they have to leave Peter and they just decide.
No, I'm gonna tell you if the real fact side, you know, probably you know, Mr. Man love to talk the truth, you know. We go up on tour and we ask them say, yo, can I use Black Euro as a opening group with phone in Europe? And them say, well, no, you know, because we have an opening act. Right? And we over Europe for over a month at tour. And there was no opening act. You know, so what kind of thing that you never have to tell me, like, you just even say, well, boy, you know, you don't want Black Hole open for you.
So who are them?
Peter Tosh and Urban Miller was the manager at the time, you know.
Okay, they never want Black Hole open.
No, because them do a little show up the police officers club there, and one over on the beach over El Sharia there, and Black Hole, they go on away. And probably them big probably scared at the time.
So they're going to flap them. So they're going to flap him.
You know? So we see him one.
Yeah.
You know?
So that is why the split come?
Yeah, that's why me say me going to leave.
Oh, you...
And then it has me leave somewhere.
Slide us left too? Yeah.
Well, I want you to joke a Sly talk, you know. Sly just said to me, Robbie, I don't want you to say nothing. And me going to talk, you know. And I'm going and just say, well, yeah, man. Blind and leave blind, and me don't want to be part of this. I will just keep on going, that's
and start on the Grace Jones thing.
Yes.
You know, one door they close. We close one door and the next one just open up.
Open phone, yes.
You know?
Yeah. But you have some good memories with Peter though.
Yeah, man, Peter was a nice person, sir.
Yeah.
In a country to hear people say, he's a man where him just lock up in a room and look for him cartoon thing. Tom and Jerry was his favorite cartoon. You know? And joke, I tell you, man, no joke, no man in case he can't draw a card like him.
Hey, more than me.
Remember? Eh?
Him draw a card more than me.
No, but yeah, you already tough, you know, but I have to Peter the edge. Well, the man said, Peter, what you think about LSD? And without thinking, him just say, LSD, Lucifer, the son of death. And that was a quote in a Jet magazine and all the magazines in America for a long time, man. Him not itch.
Yeah, him quick.
Yeah, man.
Him quick that way, the man. Well, you know, I say,
some story now.
Yeah, we know say young Copeland have enough story, but they're not ready for talk. It can't stop, you know.
Yeah, true. Well, Copeland come in long after we actually me is a man that said Copeland have to come in a Peter Tosh, you know. And we try him in there and say, and Copeland was the chef.
Oh, Copeland, so yeah, Copeland they are confirmed what you say.
Yeah, man, Copeland leave after a third world tour, I think, and just come straight. When I tell him for about 5 years, Copeland will come home and live on the road. Because when we done tour with Peter Tosh, he got tour with Third World, and then right up when we pick up Black Hole now, I am there again.
But you look why him say him dead at the business for 49 years. Next year I'm gonna be 50 years. I mean, ask man. So wait there, you must be 70-year-old because when you start at the business, the man want to tell me age like a little girl.
Yeah,
you wanna go like a girl now without hide him age.
I was look like about 30-year-old, I don't say. It Copeland look like 30-year-old.
Oh man, a long time you see Copeland, man. What you say, man?
You don't even look like 30. Copeland about 1 years dance party.
No, Copeland.
TV that black and white.
Brethren, Robbie. At 20 years ago, you know, see Copeland. Copeland look like 30 now.
Okay.
That's why me ask me for my 70.
Ask him when last him take a trip. When ask him when last him go to the barber.
No, he made ball, you know.
Okay, he will follow me.
You know it. He made ball like what you said now. The man say when I go grab him, I have to shave up him head.
Okay.
Like say nobody will watch him head. Anyway, we give thanks to you, know, Robbie. We give thanks.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, I will sing that telescope Peter Tosh. In the last half there with him, I don't know what I want or him end up playing when we reach right now. But the time when we have played him was a lot of fun memories, you know?
Yes.
Trust me, you know? I remember that one famous one, and one day I look at him and say, hey, Peter, every day you're in a studio, I come with 3 cards, GC and D. So, the next game come and show up, and start play some card on the guitar. I say, what that? He said, you are telling me every day I come to play GC and D. Well, them cards is Augmented Night and G minor 5th. I just make up my sound, so I have to laugh at the time.
But Robbie, we just tell Muta say that you was the man that brought Peter out from standing with the guitar on the wall constantly. You bring him out on the floor.
You used to go out there, man, and tell him but Peter, you didn't stand up, man. Put on the guitar and make him play a couple songs and start trouble and say you can't dance. And while we are saying that, he's like, wait, who for me so? While they must see you stop and say that, I'm going to say you can't do that move, yeah? And he said, that move that's off, man. Watch that one, yeah. And that's how we go on until eventually he gets used to it and we can't kick back.
Yeah, man, give thanks, man.
All right, man.
All right, sir.
Copeland. Copeland, I say Copeland, I think I'm going to buy a wig now.
You go buy a wig.
No, sir. Same me. No, me Muta tell you nothing. And the same me where you see the other day.
Yeah.
The same way.
Hey, Muta, you know what we want to do? You remember the thing where you say that though? Yeah. Me and Sly in at the show though.
Yeah, man.
I will play the music.
I never know you're there.
Yeah, man, we still want to do it, man.
Them me not still want to do it, but me never know you're there.
Yeah, me just tell Duncan Joan about the idea and say, boy, that's the wickedest idea.
No, nobody tell no about people the idea, no, Rasta, pure team, they're Jamaica, no.
Duncan Joan.
Enough team, they're Jamaica, you know.
Me not tell nobody, but they hear now, though, them hear now.
Yeah, you know them hear now.
Well, we never come to and tell them, hey, I'm out of
You don't want reveal it like the memorandum.
All
right, so let's end, man.
All right, big up, man.
This is the culture that I RFM. That was Sly.
No, Robbie.
Sorry, Robbie. Sorry, you see it? No, you don't see it because no, we are trying to get Sly and can't get him.
In some cases, there are some productions that Taxi put out where there's some instrumentals, and that is what went out. Sly and Robbie feature and Robbie in our feature, and Robbie if I did a lead and a part.
Yeah, and up to this day, some people are very convinced that a lot of the tours that Sly Robbie been doing for the last 20 years that I am a fixture in it, and that has not been the case. But you know, the studio, the reputation from Channel One coming back, you know, you know, we're always together doing certain things.
Yes.
And up to this day, you know, if you know, people still asking me things, you know, about going on tours Sly Robbie, and you know.
But Mr. Trown play on stage already.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've done a lot of things.
No, I mean the Trown alone, you know.
Huh?
You remember in the Trown, do the Trown? That's the Trown take some solo, different solo.
You mean studio or live?
No, on stage, man.
If I remember in it.
You don't remember the show where you and Sly and Robbie at the on stage and I do some dub-wise. That's the Trown play certain solo.
That's the three of us?
Yeah, the Trown take solo. The tone that
nothing, I don't recall right now, but you know, up to last week, 1 week ago, we're all together on the stage at the School of Music, you know, the month of...
the Wednesday night.
The dub night, you know, but there are other musicians involved.
Well, we have a synergy the door. The Trown have a synergy door. That's what
I mean, it goes way back, you know. You know, a lot of things work, you know, other people, you know, do their thing too, you know. But, you know, I mean, up to today, we're working together.
All right, so let me ask you now, is it because Sly and Robbie why you going to play Peter Tosh or how that work?
All right, what had happened, I was in a band called In Crowd. I was actually the band leader up to the time that I had left. And I quit that band end of 1975 or 76, I don't recall right now. Herbie Miller, who was the manager who Robbie referred to earlier, I kind of knew him, you know, we weren't, you know, very good friends, just kind of acquaintances, kind of knew each other kind of casually. And he didn't live too far from me, actually. And then, you know, Robbie had mentioned about other musicians, you know, after he and Sly became, you know, the nucleus of the group. And I guess when Tarzan, the keyboard player who was at that time, you know, with Sly and Robbie, when you left, I wasn't available. Herbie came to me personally at my home and said, you know, if I was interested in working with Peter Tosh. And, you know, as I said, I just, you know, left that band and I just basically doing studio work only. And I agreed to that. And, you know, and from there we went.
How long you played with him?
With Peter, I was with Peter from 1976 actually, before he got inked, you know, to the Rolling Stones deal, which, you know, the Bush Doctor album I think was 78. I did two more albums with him over the next few years with Sly and Robbie, and the next album, which was the two albums after Bush Doctor for the record, were Wanted, Dread and Alive and Mystic Man. And then, you know, Sly and Robbie, you know, of course, went on to the Black Uhuru. And then when the other musicians came, now although Fully never played on the next album, you know, we had hired a musician for that, but Santa was part of the band then. And that would have been the Mama Africa album. And to answer your question, I played with Peter until 1982.
82?
Right. The very last show I played on with Peter was the World Music Festival.
Oh, no, I'm there. All right. Let me ask you a question now. I don't know if you was a Christian then, or you still a Christian now. But Peter Tosh have a tune when we want to play upon the radio.
Yeah.
You know the tune I talk about? You know the tune?
Go ahead, let me hear it.
BC, man. The tune. Oh, yeah. You know the tune I talk about?
Go again?
You know him started, and then him say BC.
Oh, okay. Oh, that one. Yes.
No, I say, I don't know if you was a Christian then or is a Christian now, but I can't do certain circle. You say he's a man where anytime he's ready for Peter, you just walk off on the stage.
Well, it depends on certain circles, but I've never walked off the stage with Peter.
I'm going to tell life for you.
We score plan you thought, no, I think...
Wait, a couple full up me here, sir.
Well, we don't Copeland.
All right, Copeland.
Well, Copeland memory is much better than mine.
All right, Copeland.
No, we were playing at the Ritz.
Yeah.
And Robbie said, listen, I hope him don't put this in this program because the song wasn't on the US released album.
Yeah, I remember it was, I remember he had released 2 albums.
We decided, we wasn't doing it, and one of the show him just decided to him put it in.
Okay.
And I remember when he put it in and he looked at me.
Yeah,
and you walked to the dressing room.
It's coming back now, but as I told Muta, your memory is much better than mine.
Hey, Snabana, Him sharp, you see, man.
Yeah, man, he might tell me things that I would never remember.
But him tell me things about me too, I don't remember.
Yeah, that is true. You know,
so it's a good reference.
Yeah, you have to give Copeland credit. I'm kind of exaggerate some of the things.
Like what you tell me about, say, you used to come off. It's like every time him go play that tune, you come off on the stage.
No. I remember how that tune was written still. I think that tune was written out of frustration, you know? When things just weren't going the right way and you're just trying to express your way, yourself.
Me love it still. The philosophy we have behind it.
Yeah.
Me kind of like it because, you know, it's a word we frighten a whole heap of people.
Right, exactly. And you know, it just depends on, you know, who you are and what you stand for.
Yeah.
And, you know, and Peter will tell you, you know, there's nothing wrong. And then he wants to be different than everybody else. I mean, he broke ground in ways that other people never did.
Yeah. So me go ask Jai, me can play that tune up on the radio, you know.
I don't think Jai going.
What do you mean no? Jai have to tell me no. You can't tell me no. Which
what about the sense people?
Which tune matter? What the tune name? No, wait there. Make sure tell me what the tune name. What the tune name? Let me play it. Let me play the first. Let me play the first verse for you. The first.
Broadcast commission.
Yeah, the broadcast BC to be played on the radio. All right, sir.
Yeah, I think I might get in a little bit of that, but I guess the people can read between the lines. You know?
Yes.
And I guess a lot of people will know exactly the song.
Yeah. Well, Robbie, me I tell you, say, you're one of the best. Me I tell you that personally, when me hear the eye, you're one of the best, man.
Give thanks.
Yeah, you're one of the best. Trust me, and it's good for know, say, you're there still, and the two of them still are going, even though man attack, it's not a man attack, that, the whole music respond.
Yeah.
Yes, the music respond. Trust me, man, because when you talk about international scenes, festivals and all these things, the three of the item, Sly and Robbie, and Robbie Shakespeare and Robbie Lynn, trust me, the people have to know that.
Right, and don't forget my brother in Keith Sterling and keyboard, because to this day I'm touring hard, same way with Wailers now, you know. And Sterling was
yeah, but what do you mean, man, Sterling? What do you mean? So really, want to Mikey Chung?
Mikey Chung, cool, man. I see him up to yesterday.
You see him yesterday?
Yeah, man.
Then we are trying to get him and can't get him.
I'm changing phone number.
I'm changing phone number.
But if you want to get in touch with him, I can't tell you. Okay.
All right, I'm going to make the operator call you back then.
Yeah, all right.
All right, give thanks, brethren.
All right, one.
Yeah, man. The man, one of the next man them who used to make Peter Tosh look good when he perform. Yeah, we are continuing the journey. As we are saying, we are talking to people who really was involved with making Peter Tosh sound good. And as we are saying now, after Sly and Robbie gone, you have a next brethren, you know, I tell you, say, don't forget kill you also this brethren. Santa, how you do, man?
I'm a brethren, give thanks.
No, let me tell you something now. I tell the world this before many times. You see, the first time he go to America, and me did want a drummer to play with me, because I carry my own band the first time I go there. Santa, big Santa drummer, say he might come with me. And them days there, I drop money. As a young artist, I come for years, said Santa say me go Rasta. It was something else. But I give thanks to the brethren over the years, you know.
Yeah, man, but you know, man, I just enjoy of playing music, you know, because I just sit that, you know, I mean, a part of our life, you know, so, I mean, yeah, the money is a good thing, it counts, because you have to pay bills and do all kind of things, but you see, you also have the spiritual aspect to the thing, so it's not only just money, it's a greater, you know, ends to the whole thing, because we spread the word and vibe on the world, so I mean, I tell you, say, after that show there, look where Muta is today, because that show there, what you call boss me, you know, internationally, you know, that show they boss me. So we give thanks again. But springboard.
Yeah, man. So
the informative information presented in this video is motivational and is positively aimed at inspiring, educating and entertaining the viewers with the cutting edge of critical reasoning. If you enjoy the contents on the Black Radar YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to show your support.